Hello, welcome to the Projection Project. My name is Rain, and I'm your super awesome, epic, and cool host. And today I have with me Eliza.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, your mom.
Your mom.
How do you feel to be on this epic podcast?
We're doing good. We're doing great. We're kind of thriving. It's New Year's. You know, defrosting a whole bunch of food for like
Woo!
3.
So, speaking of New Year's, with New Year's coming up, that means that there's going to be a new year with a whole bunch of new Marvel projects coming out. But that's not where we're focusing entirely on this episode. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about all the Marvel projects that have come out this year for Phase 4. And there were a lot that came out this year because of COVID. Because a lot were supposed to come out in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did all? Yeah, no. What? Suddenly I was like, what year is it? I know that like a lot of these got like tossed around because they were supposed to come out in 2020. Yeah, so we're gonna give our opinions or whatever. So these are gonna go in order of when they came out. So okay, first, WandaVision. WandaVision.
I really liked WandaVision, actually. I feel like it was good. It was good. And I think a lot of people, it got so much hype, like a lot of hype. And so many people were like on it. And I think it's because like we've been so starved of like Marvel content. So when WandaVision hit, everyone was just eating it up. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I remember around this time I got so many Darcy comments on my stuff because I had the long hair and my hair was brown. It was dark brown. And I remember I have a comment from you once. I was like, I'm waiting for all the Darcy comments. And you put, okay, mind reader.
No, I feel like, yeah, you do look like Darcy. You really do. Like, honestly.
I'm back to getting Darcy comments. Because my hair is brown again and it's starting to get longer. But
comments like, yeah, that's Darcy.
For a while my bio was Darcy's long lost twin or something, but then I changed it. Anyway, WandaVision. So WandaVision kind of exceeded my expectations. I didn't really know what to expect. Because I liked Vision and Wanda's characters in the movies. I was really sad whenever Vision died, got annihilated. I don't know, but got violated.
Yeah. No, Darcy got violated. They picked him apart right in front of her.
He was dead. He was alive, but he was dead, and then he was alive, and then he was dead again. Like. No, but I really liked Vision. I probably liked Vision more than Wanda. I'm canceled now. No, I still like Wanda. I don't hate Wanda. I think it's just that I really find Wanda obsessed stands really annoying.
They can get real obnoxious too.
Yes. But I like all the side characters in WandaVision as well, which I think that make the show really good as well, as they brought back a lot of characters and they introduced a lot of characters as well, which made the show really good, and the effects were great.
Yeah. Okay, because I don't have like a lot of like thoughts on it, because I just loved it. I would give it like maybe like a 9 or an 8.5 overall out of 10. Like, I enjoyed it, and I also liked the theories too, no matter how like absurd, and like I loved them. It got everyone like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the theories were wild.
Yeah. Like, were kind of a reach, but I was still living for them. You know what I mean? Because that was like, everyone was kind of working together and like talking to each other, and it was so great because you could just like bring it up in conversation. You know what I mean? And then it was really interesting too. That's another thing.
Like the show itself was so different than anything that Marvel has like put together.
Mhm.
It was like a different. It wasn't like it was like a thriller, I guess. Like like obviously all superhero stuff is actions, and I think even the show is like it's under like a different genre.
Mhm.
It's like, but I don't know. It was really good. Really thought out. It was nice to see those like the smaller characters get like some spotlight. Same for other shows as well. But I know these two were really popular characters in general. Who was your favorite character from this show?
My favorite character was Darcy. It was straight up Darcy. Like that, everyone outside of Westview was my favorite.
I have too many favorite characters from this show. I realize that because I love Monica and Darcy. I really like Darcy in the Thor movies also, and I really like Jimmy Woo. And but I also really like Agatha, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Like every character is very likable. You don't hate any of them. I don't think I can't find one character that I genuinely didn't like, other than Freg. What was his name?
Oh, the dude, the
Yeah,
dude that everyone thought was Mephisto.
yeah, that guy.
I don't know his name. I was kind of hoping Wanda would kill him, to be honest.
Yeah. There's like
girl boss. Yeah, so what in the post that I just made, I said that WandaVision was my second favorite thing. It just exceeded my expectations a lot. So yeah, that's why it was my second favorite project. So moving on to the next thing that came out, unless you had any more thoughts about WandaVision.
Oh no, I'm good. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Was the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. These two are really popular characters in general, like despite how small Bucky was a really small character in the movies. He had like 2 lines like each movie. But so people were really excited for this show. I know a lot of people didn't like this show. What did you think about it?
I liked it. Okay. Calm yourselves when I'm gonna say for what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna die on this hill, dead ass. Okay. I liked it way better than WandaVision. Way better than like out of all the series, it's like maybe my number one right now. Just because we're mentioning it. It's probably gonna change as we go along, you know. But at the moment, it's like up there. I put it above WandaVision. I don't know. I liked the story and the plot that Sam and Bucky had together, you know what I mean? And their interaction was really good too. Maybe it's because I like these characters so much more than like, Vision and Wanda. Again, because like that's everyone's faves, right? But I don't know. I found myself more entertained watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? And then they introduced that one villain, that one guy. I forgot. He was so irrelevant and annoying. I hate him. The freaking fraud. What's his name? Something Walker.
Oh, John Walker.
Yeah, I hated him. But I loved that I hated him. Like, you got me feeling a type of way for a character. You succeed when you got me feeling a type of way for that character.
This show introduced so many new characters to the MCU and brought back a lot of old ones as well. Because now John Walker is going to be, I think he's going to be what
was it like? What's his name?
He's going like he now has like a new superhero name because of Valentina, and I don't remember what it is.
Is it Patriot? The Patriot?
I don't remember. That's gonna bother me because now he has like a black suit. My only mind is like Captain Hydra, and that's not what it is. That's not what it is. It might be Patriot. I don't know. I used to know it, and now I just don't.
They introduced Sharon too. Sharon Carter.
Yeah, they brought back Sharon
and Zemo.
And Zemo. People were most excited to see Zemo, and I love Zemo's character because he's one of the few villains in the MCU that succeeded in what he was trying to do. Plus, he's so funny. He's so funny. I really liked Sharon in the MCU, like before Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I still like her.
A lot of people trash on her. I've seen so much slander on Sharon. I literally have no qualms with her character or her, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see any reason why people always egg on her other than, you know.
I just hate that people, like, I hate that Marvel keeps making her a love interest. And I know people are like, if they make Sharon and Bucky a couple, people are like, we're gonna be so mad, because obviously it's not the actress's fault or a character's fault, it's the writing. And I'm like, I'm glad they didn't make her a love interest in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because her character was so awesome in that show.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, and the villain in that show, I think her name was Carly. They were the Flag Smashers, but Carly, I think, was the lead girl. Okay, can we talk about how the Flag Smashers' ideals were really like, they were normal, like they were good ideals, but they were just executing them in the wrong way. Because Sam even agreed with the way that she was thinking. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this has happened so many times in the MCU where it's the right idea, wrong execution. Like,
it's they always, what I noticed with the villains, they always want to see
a change.
a change like right away, and they'll do it like they'll take the issue in the wrong way, and they'll do it like aggressively to a point where you lost sight of what you actually were fighting for.
So many people were angry about how much like racism was mentioned. I was like, guys, I'm like, this is so important. Why would it not be mentioned? And then I remember, do you know who like Straw Hat Goofy is?
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Shut up. I mentioned him a couple times. So I think his name is Juju. But he's so awesome. He kept making posts about the show, obviously, as he does, because that is his content. He talks about shows and movies, and people were like, it doesn't stand for racism. That's not what it means. And I was like, that's literally half of the show is like the themes are about racism. What do you mean?
This was like also kind of reaffirming how, what's it called? Sam did deserve that shield. I don't think Bucky needed that shield at all.
Yeah.
Shield. Sam is now Captain America completely. That's what the show is also trying to tell you, is that he's the one. It's not Bucky, because Bucky's already, you know.
Mm-hmm. And because Bucky didn't want the shield. He didn't want to be symbolized as a hero after what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that makes me mad about Sam's Captain America suit is like they tried to like incorporate his like Falcon look like onto like his face, you know, like they cover the ears and like the eye. Something about that his face part of his costume looks weird. They need to fix that, but otherwise his costume now is beautiful.
Yeah.
What would you rate the show out of 10?
Oh, I give it a like. Okay, so now I'm gonna change my ratings for WandaVision. I would give Falcon and the Winter Soldier like a 9.5, and then I would give WandaVision like unfiltered 7.5. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get murdered for this. All the stands are gonna come for me.
I on my list that I had just posted, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like in the middle. I think I ranked it number 5 out of 9 out of like everything that has come out, which is in the, considering that there were a lot of disappointments, and there were a lot of good projects that also came out. I think in the middle was like a perfect spot, because there were some things that the show lacked for me. I think that the ending was kind of like, the ending was good with this show, but I wish that Carly wouldn't have died. And I like that they left on the cliffhanger with Sharon. And they also left on the cliffhanger with Zemo, right?
Yeah, they did.
And then there were a lot of cliffhangers with this show, which I think there were too many, because I was like, and then there was with John Walker, and I was like, what the hell's going on? But I wish they wouldn't have killed Carly. And then I wish there was too much like comedic relief going on, and I was like, it needed to be a little bit like, it was either serious or it was like too funny. And I was like, what is this show?
So I felt like it felt kind of inconsistent for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, I liked the show.
Oh my gosh, we flip-flopped, because look, we have like diverse opinions.
But otherwise, I did indeed like the show. It was because also Sam and Bucky are some of my favorite characters. So yeah. Any last thoughts about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I still liked it better than WandaVision.
You're like, you start losing followers after this. The thing is that I like Wanda, and I agree that she is the strongest Avenger, but I don't agree with all the Wanda stans.
What?
You know, all the Wanda stans like she's the strongest, and like if you make an edit about like Carol, and they're like, oh my, like if you say that Carol is like super powerful, they'll be like, but Wanda's more powerful. No, yeah, this edit is about Carol. Fuck you. Okay, we talked about that on another episode. I'm in the No Nuance November episode. Emily and I talked about that. It was really irritating. Okay, next thing that came out. Oh, there were two things that kind of came out at once, but so we'll talk about the first one. Was Black Widow.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Sorry.
I really okay. It was more like it was like a normal Marvel project for me. It didn't like blow my mind away, but it didn't disappoint me.
It was very predictable for you. That's why.
It didn't seem predictable. I did like the callback to, I think, to her in Avengers.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
How they redid that. I love that. And I loved meeting these new characters and seeing her family and more. I love that people can finally see how dangerous the Red Room is. Because people are like, oh my God, the Red Room's not that bad. No, it is the worst.
I think with the MCU, they kind of watered it down. Because if you know what it's actually like in the comics, it's so much more like intense than what they showed in the movies. Like, it's so bad that Natasha, she's already like the strongest Avenger in my opinion. Like, she's already super strong, both mentally and physically, and even she has trauma from it, so much so that like she blocks it out from her memories, you know what I mean? Like, you can see that when she tries to recall what exactly happened, she can't. It's all like fragments for her. That's how traumatizing the Red Room was. And in the movies, I was like, oh, that's like kind of the watered down version of what it's actually like, but I'm still living for it. Like that whole sequence of them doing that, you know what sequence I'm talking about, right? The whole movement that they were doing with the disarming and the gun and the knife, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The whole training sequence. So what I also liked about this is like what you said, they introduced the family. How Yelena, it's just Yelena, you know what I mean? Like, she's such a likable character. Like, the minute she shows up on screen, you immediately like, oh my God, I'm already in love with her and her character. She's so charismatic. And that's because of both how Florence Pugh plays her and also the character herself. Like, it just worked so well. And now she's everyone's favorite. I feel like I consider most of the characters to be overhyped. You know what I mean? When like some of the MCU characters are kind of overhyped. I'm not gonna say.
You look at me, you're like, Wanda.
No. But anyway, Yelena, I think she deserves the hype. Like, genuinely, she's a Marvel character that deserves all the hype and all the love. It's not overhyped at all. She's great because she's both very she's very clever. She's also a badass too. Like, and it's not cringy. It's not the cringy kind of clever. You know what I mean by cringy clever? Like, they try so hard. Am I nitpicking? Let me know if I'm nitpicking.
No. Because I thoroughly agree. I love Yelena. She's so awesome. I think all the actors who played like her family were so great at their roles. I know that a lot of like some of the family stuff is not comic book accurate, which a lot of people found like that was like more something they found irritating, like with Alexi and stuff like that.
It's really minor. It's not something to like lose your mind over, you know what I mean?
But I think the actress did such a great job, like David, and then the woman who is in the Mummy, I think her name is Rachel.
Yeah.
But no, they were perfect. I love the switchover scene because my dumbass would have never guessed that. But I should have, because I was like another like, and there's so many callbacks to stuff that she's done, and that's to show that like characters like her and Clint, like obviously they don't have superpowers, but like they're so smart and they do like the same stuff that people wouldn't like guess. I just can't get over how smart they are.
Yeah, Nat was the best event, the strongest, like among the main six. She was the strongest out of all of them, in my personal opinion. People can disagree and say it's Thor or Hulk, but for me, it's Nat. It's Natasha.
Nat is so cool. But yeah, what would you rate Black Widow?
As much as I raved about it, like I really went on a whole like I love it, I love it, I love it. I give it like an 8.
I think Black Widow was right below Falcon and the Winter Soldier on my list, so it was number 6. Yeah, it was like a normal Marvel thing. Kind of like Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of fell into that same boat where it was just like a normal Marvel project. But it just had more symbolism to it. That's why it was above Black Widow. So the next thing that came out, which was like these two came out like literally around the same time, like overlapping each other, was Loki. How did you feel about this show?
Oh hey, oh my gosh, you really want me to go in on this one, huh?
No, because I have like a strong opinion about this one.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't even watch it when it came out, like when everyone was super hyped about it, like especially because I know Loki, everyone absolutely loves Loki. Ask the girl next to you in class and ask her who's her favorite character. She's gonna say Loki. Ask the girl or the other guy or whatever next to you, they're gonna say Loki. So, but even with all the hype, I couldn't sit down and watch it when it came out. So I waited until I think this month. It was this month. I remember because the tree was on when I was watching. It was this month that I finally got around to watching it, right? And I was like, oh my God, it's so bad. I was underwhelmed. I was kind of underwhelmed, to be honest. I was underwhelmed. But I loved Sylvie. I loved Mobius. I loved all the characters. I love Loki and like the different variants of Loki that I got to see. But the show itself was just not doing anything for me. So I gave it like, if I'm being super generous, I would give it a 7. But if I'm being blunt, I would give it like an average. I would give it a 6.5. Like 6.5 is average, right?
5 is average. 5 is in the middle of 10.
No. I'll give it a 6. I'll just give it a 6.
So whenever I ranked Loki was the 8th, number 8 out of 9. I ranked it because I was so disappointed with this show. I can't express how disappointed I was. The first couple episodes of this show were really good, in my opinion. The finale was really good up until like midway through or like 10 minutes before the ending, and I was like, I wish I could have clicked out, but no, after having a heart attack by Miss Minutes, I had to keep watching. So hey y'all, like
no, because when I saw that, I finally understood all the little jump scares. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
No, Miss Minutes is terrifying. But there were a lot of sneaky things about this show that I really liked. In general, if we're talking about good things about Loki, I liked first of all, I loved Morbius. He was such a cool fucking dude. And the fact that they confirmed that these were people pulled from timelines to work there, and Morbius was pulled from like the 90s and stuff like that, and her name was Ramona, the timekeeper lady.
Yeah, the one that was trying to capture Sylvie, right?
Yeah. No, not the guard lady, the one who was the judge.
Yeah.
She they found out that she was a teacher, and I like that they didn't really confirm it, but it's basically confirmed that So in the comic books, Ramona has a thing with Kang the Conqueror, and they basically kind of confirmed it in the show. And I like that it was they showed Kang the Conqueror in the show. It technically wasn't him, but it was him. And God, Jonathan Majors was fantastic as him. Oh my God, I could listen to him all day. I think whenever he told Sylvie to shut up, I was like, damn, okay.
Telling Sylvie to shut up. It's usually Sylvie telling other people to shut up.
And I was like, damn. I was like, you go, girl. Like, the acting in the show was generally fantastic.
Yeah,
I loved a lot of these side characters in this show. I feel bad because a lot of people just hated Sylvie's character. And
no, really?
yeah, Sylvie is really hated.
No way. I was not aware.
I have mixed feelings about Sylvie because I know Sylvie is a Loki variant.
People say that it's the Loki, that there's a reason why she's special. You know what I mean? She's the Loki that wasn't gonna fuck up. That never. That's the whole thing. And the reason, okay, this may be a reach, and let me know if you think otherwise. Like, cut me off before I start spewing. But I kind of think her Nexus event was that, and tell me, her Nexus event was that she wanted to be a Valkyrie. You know what I mean? Because she was a girl, obviously. She wanted to be a Valkyrie, and so she would deviate from what makes Loki a Loki. Does that make sense? That was her thing, because
that was her Nexus event.
Yeah, I'm probably reading into it like too much. But when she was a kid, when we get to see her backstory of how she was taken away, she was playing with like the little Pegasus horse thingy, right? And that's like her goal and her dream to become a Valkyrie is when it started to like really blossom. You know what I mean? And that's her next event, was that she's going to deviate from being what makes a Loki, and that's like a backstabbing, terrible person. That's putting it really bluntly. That's probably not right, but that's me putting it like as is.
I thought you were gonna say her Nexus event was killing the King the Conqueror variant, but okay.
Well, I could be wrong. I'm so sorry.
I also, there are a couple other things about this show that I also really didn't like, but I don't want to get into it. I could talk about it for a while. But I
think the only thing I liked, like like honest to God, like the number one thing was how in depth they went with Loki's character.
I think that Loki's character changed too fast. Obviously, I know that time works different in the TVA, but they weren't in the TVA for the whole thing.
Yeah,
so, and it took him so many fucking years in the Thor trilogy to change. How did it take him like 2 seconds to change from like ooh to ooh in the Loki show? Like, what?
Maybe I'm like, again, I might be reaching. It's probably just because of like everything that he was exposed to in such a short amount of time. But then again, like you said, it was a short amount of time, and it's kind of ridiculous to think that he would change just because of those things. So I can like see both sides of the whole thing. You know what I mean? You are right though. You're right too. Yeah.
So moving on, before I keep ranting on about the show, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's everything. Before we start talking more about Loki, we gotta go.
So did you watch What If? I know a lot of people didn't watch it or stopped.
Okay, I'm probably like the 5% of people that actually ranked it super high. Not super high, but higher than like, because I've seen people's rankings and they always put it like low, but I loved it. I loved seeing What If. Like, I like seeing the alternate versions of everything. It's so interesting to me. And you know how like my content is like, like what it is. So that's also partly why I was so interested in it too, because I love seeing that kind of variation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. After like thinking about it for a while, I actually probably should have switched Loki and What If, because I put What If at the bottom, but I actually kind of enjoyed What If more than Loki, so I think I would put What If at 8 and Loki at 9. I actually liked okay, half of the episodes were so good. I don't remember the episode, okay, the numbers, but the Stephen Strange one becoming Dark Doctor Strange, that one was really good. The zombies episode was really good. The T'Challa being Star-Lord was really good. And then the last two episodes were really good.
The like, what if the Watcher, like, they were trying to
broke his oath, and then what if Ultron had the Infinity Stones or something? I don't know. But no, yeah, I think those were like the 5 episodes that I really liked, and the other 4 I wasn't huge fans of. I didn't really like the Peggy Carter one. Okay, a super unpopular opinion. Maybe because I hate Haley Atwell, but I'm not a huge fan of Peggy Carter. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, yay, more Peggy Carter content." I'm like, no, fuck Peggy Carter. I do not want Peggy Carter anymore because Haley Atwell is such a shitty person. Anyway, that's my opinion. And then what was the other? Oh, what if Earth's Mightiest Heroes were gone or whatever? That one was okay. The
all
ending. What?
The one where they were like all assassinated.
Yeah, that one, I liked the idea of that one. And that one was pretty good. That was probably the next best one after all the ones that I'd said. The one with Killmonger and Iron Man, who the fuck came up with that one? That was some weird idea episode.
Yeah, it was really weird, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah. What was the other episode?
It was what if Loki wasn't Thor's brother? Like, if he was just like a frost giant. Odin never took him under his wing or never adopted him.
Wait, was that really the whole scheme of the episode? I thought it was like, what if it was like, it was Thor being like a party god or whatever. That episode was probably my least favorite episode.
I kind of zoned out on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, that one was oh yeah, because Thor was like destroying the earth. But that one, that one was pretty, that one was definitely boring. But no, a lot of the episodes were really good. And I like that it definitely helped us understand a lot, like the idea of the multiverse. I feel like, because I think a lot of people didn't understand how it worked, because you kind of, other than that, the only other thing that like really showed it were like the comics, or was Into the Spider-Verse. It was like the only other things to show you how the multiverse worked. But I would still probably rank it 8 out of the 9, because half the episodes were good and the other half weren't, in my opinion. So that's just me though.
I would rank it higher than Loki.
Yeah, that's why I changed. So do you have anything else to say about What If?
No, I don't, actually. I really liked it. That's really it. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. And I feel like people are kind of, they're making it a little bit too low for comfort. But that's everyone's opinion. So I can't really be mad about it.
They're making a season 2 of What If. Also, the animation was great. And they I hope they like come up with better what if ideas, because some of them were great. People really want what if the other half was blipped, and I want that so bad.
No, I think they didn't do that because they were so set on this whole like, what if the Watcher like broke his oath, and the candidates from different universes.
Yeah, I just really hope they do the what if the other half got blipped. I watched a video once explaining what probably would have happened, and it was super interesting. There's because it's like all side characters instead of main characters, so it's super interesting. Or I hope they do what if Clint would have jumped instead of Nat. That would be super interesting as well. I mean, it wouldn't really affect, I mean, it could affect the battle, but like also his family would be impacted. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, enough with What If. Shang-Chi. What do you think of Shang-Chi?
I loved it. I gave it, sorry. You said Shang-Chi and I'm already like, okay, because first of all, I gave it like a 9.5. That's the most representation I've seen, first of all. And then also they didn't like, I don't want to say shove it down our throat is not a good way to say it. It's not a good way to say it at all. But what's it called? Like the characters were so likable. I love Katy. I love my Chinese.
Xiaoling.
Xiaoling, thank you. I'm freaking whitewashed. I'm so sorry.
But you're whitewashing me, who's actually white.
I loved them so much. I immediately, when I saw her, I'm like, wait, she kind of like the whole Fight Club thing was so cool too. And then I loved the story, like the beginning too, like how his mom and his father like got together. I loved the special effects. I loved Katy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was living for it. I was living for the whole thing. And then the ending fight too, that was everything. And I loved how that whole moment where Katy got to like, use the bow and arrow. I thought that was pretty epic. I liked that one too. Like that whole moment she had. And then the end credit scene too. Oh my god, there's so many things I like about this movie. I feel like if I start listing them off, I'm gonna start sounding annoying.
So Shang-Chi was my favorite thing that has come out so far. I've watched it twice now. First of all, I have a Morris plushie. I bought it at Target. You can kind of see it over there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, no, I love this movie. It's very funny. The soundtrack slaps. The other one is like Black Panther has a great soundtrack too. But also because I know some of the artists who I listened to some of the artists who came up with this, like who did the music for this soundtrack, but no, it's so good. And I also love a lot of the characters. I was really worried through this whole movie that Shang-Chi and Katy were gonna kiss. No, and I'm so glad that they didn't.
I agree. Sorry, I'm like
everyone is like Xiaoling and Katy.
Yeah, yes. Because they are literally like their dynamic is very much brother sister, like best friends. Like it's platonic. There's no tension. There's zero tension between them. You're in denial if you think that you've never seen tension before. You've never recognized tension if you think there's any between the two of them.
Yeah, Katy and Shang-Chi have the perfect platonic relationship. I think it's pretty accurate to how guy-girl friendships are now. Yeah, also like the effects of this movie are really pretty. In general, I think also the ending fight scene, whenever I could like see it, I was like the dragon, I was like, damn, this is not where I thought this movie was going. And I was like, also I was super confused until like the second time I watched this movie. I was like, how did this village exist? But then it says, but I could, because I truly didn't listen the first time, that this is that this is in a different universe. And I was like, oh, well, damn, guess I'm stupid. This is another movie that introduces the multiverse idea, just really lightly though. But no, I love this movie. It's very good.
Like the minute they went into the village and it just showed like all of like the mythological creatures and everything, not just like random ones too, like actually from real life folklore.
Yeah, Chinese folklore. Giselle and I talked about this.
Like they have phoenixes flying over, and they have
the nine-tailed foxes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And the lion statues too. The ones
I recognize them. Like as soon as I saw those big lions, I'm like, damn, like these don't look like they're from Chinese folklore. And I was like, wait, they probably are. It was a nice little touch to the movie. There were so many good things about it. So yeah, what would you rank this movie out of 10?
Oh my god, it's 9.5.
You're like 9.9 out of 10.
I'm I don't think I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a very simple person.
No, you're like, I can't give it an 11 out of 10. So wait, what does that sound? You're like, so I let it eat my ass or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forgot how it
Oh. Okay, so moving on to the next thing that came out was Eternals. I know you said you didn't see it. So I'll talk about it briefly, I guess, because I talked about in the No Nuance November episode, Emily and I went like deep into the our opinion of Eternals. So this movie is either a movie you're going to like or you're not going to like it. It is. I noticed it's either hit or miss with a lot of people. I personally liked the movie. It's number 4 out of 9 on my list. The only problem for me in this movie is that there are a lot of plot holes, and it's missing a little bit of character development. I wished all the Eternals got equal screen time, but it's very focused around Cersei and Icarus and Sprite. Um, uh, the rest are like kind of side characters, which I find very irritating. I wish they all kind of got equal screen time. But what?
Oh, no, keep going. I want to hear your thoughts first. Sorry.
But no, this movie is very visually stunning. The effects are also very beautifully done for this movie. Because obviously Makari is like speed fast, and whenever you see, like, it was nice to see what she sees whenever she's running, and I'm like, this is beautiful. And I like that Chloe Zhao is someone who does like natural lighting for her movies, and because obviously the Eternals are people who've been here for 7,000 years, and obviously they're not going to have perfect lighting in like ancient Egypt or wherever the hell they are. So I think that was a really nice touch to this movie. But obviously I think the main downfalls to this movie were plot holes and character development.
It doesn't feel like a Marvel movie based off of what I see in like edits and like trailers and stuff. It's very different from what we're used to. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie.
It's different in my opinion, in a good way. I think some people, I definitely do agree that it's different. I think some people don't like it because it is so different. A lot of people think the Eternals are going to return in other Phase 4 projects this year before we get a second Eternals movie. The movie does end on a cliffhanger. I can't really say much other than otherwise it's going to spoil it. But the Shang-Chi end credit and the Eternals end credit are connected. In my opinion, they are definitely connected. I don't know if you saw the end credit because it was posted all over TikTok. That
end credit for
Eternals.
Oh, about Harry Styles?
Yeah, that I don't know if you only saw the Harry Styles part or the whole end credit.
I only saw the Harry Styles part, and then I also saw that he's supposed to play Eros, which, in my opinion, a little hot. I don't really agree with this casting, but it's whatever, I guess.
I don't know. We'll see if Marvel made a mistake. Marvel makes very few casting mistakes.
Yeah, that's why I'm willing to like hear them out on this one, you know?
But no, that end credit is pretty long. So yeah, that in my opinion, the Eternals one and the Shang-Chi end credit definitely connected. In my opinion. But yeah, also the Eternals movie, there's like a point where I feel like there's also a lot of time jumps you have to understand in the Eternals movie, which I feel like can be like a turn away, because I know like there have been a couple movies where if there's too many time jumps, I get very lost. But no, I feel like they make them very clear where they are in time otherwise. But I liked it. I know some people didn't, like Olivia. You don't know Olivia, but Olivia, who's been on the podcast, said she didn't like it very much. But I didn't like it, or I mean, I liked it. So you're just gonna have to see for yourself if you like it or not.
Do you know if she liked it?
Who?
Giselle.
No, she hasn't seen it yet. Oh, because I made a post about Jurig, and she's like, I haven't seen Eternal. She's like, but I see this motherfucker everywhere. And no, because before I saw the movie, I got this movie spoiled for me so badly. I knew like basically the whole thing before I saw this movie. I kept seeing Drake everywhere, and I was like, why are people simping for this like basic white man? And then I saw the movie and I understood why. Anyway,
Watch it too. My mutual all are like simping for this man. All of them.
it's
Well,
the
like,
confidence that this man has.
really, like, is it the same it's like Loki confidence, or is it like a what kind of confidence are we
It's
talking
like
about?
actually confidence, not arrogance. It's confidence. Also, the
Okay.
actor in general. He's the actor Barry is so funny. um, but okay, so yeah, moving on from Eternals, because I don't think you have any other opinions because you haven't seen the movie.
Oh, I knew about the Eternals before it came out, when people were speculating that it was Angelina Jolie that was gonna play Cersei. Actually, I have like a
Why were people thinking that Cersei is Asian in the comics?
yeah. That's why I was like, oh, they have pictures of it too. They like made pictures of it, and then Gemma Chan. I don't think anyone knew Gemma Chan. No, they did. They told what the cast was gonna be. Majority of the cast. Gemma was gonna be Thena instead. Yeah,
Really?
and yeah, basically, how they pictured it like before it came out was that Angelina Jolie kind of looked like Hela a little bit, with like she had bangs. The little concept thing that they did, she had bangs and like long black hair, and then like, you know, what Gemma wears in the actual movies. Yeah.
I think Angelina Jolie was a great casting choice for Thena. And
Yeah,
the casting choices for Eternals was great in my opinion.
I like
My
that.
favorite Eternal is Fastos. He's super underrated. He's my favorite one.
It's fast.
Fastos is the one who does like technology.
Oh, okay.
He's the one gay one.
The one day one.
But no, he's my favorite one. He's very funny. But okay, moving on from Eternals. We have the Hawkeye show.
I gave it. I really liked it. I actually really, really liked it, and the characters too. Like, it was kind of like reintroducing Clint as like Hawkeye, like actually as Hawkeye, because that's all we've ever seen him as like Clint. This is probably not like true for like the general viewers or whatever. I never really saw him as like Hawkeye. Does that make sense? Like, even from throughout the entire like MCU like thing. I don't know what the word is. I never saw him as Hawkeye. I've only seen him as like Clint Barton. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like Peter
Yeah.
Parker versus Spider-Man or Bruce Wayne versus Batman.
Yeah. I've only seen him as like, he never went into that whole hero persona thing the same way Cap did, or the same way Tony did, or the same way even Bruce Banner. I've always been like, Bruce Banner is also, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this series really was to finally show him as like actually Hawkeye.
Are you someone who liked Clint, or did you like or hate Clint before the show? Because I know there. So no, keep going.
Oh. I liked Clint as his character. I did like Clint. What I didn't like was how inaccurate they portrayed him, because in the comics he has hard of hearing. But that was like kind of my main thing, was that he wasn't like and that's what I really liked about Clinton Barton too, and like Hawkeye, was that he had that thing, his hearing disability, and then they finally were able to like show it in the series. You know what I mean? Like, he's finally being portrayed accurately. But yeah, I'm gonna. That's.
I liked Clint before the Hawkeye show. I was someone who always liked Clint. I always thought he was generally pretty funny. And I was always someone who thought that it had to be Nat and that it should have not been Clint. Fuck anyone that says it should be Clint. I have such a strong opinion about that.
I agree that it was a good thing. Like, it makes sense that Nat would do it. It makes sense that it would be Nat and not Clint.
Yeah, and plus they fought for it. They both wanted to do it. It wasn't like Clint didn't try.
No, he tried, but
like,
it's because Nat was literally better than him.
Yeah, exactly. But no, there were a lot of things I did like about the Hawkeye show. Just the finale for the show was such a big letdown. Like it was like a happy ending, but it wasn't like what I wanted. I don't know what I wanted, but it was still a good show. It was just like kind of like a normal Marvel thing. It was number 7 on my list. Out of 9. I still liked the show. I still liked Clint. I liked Kate Bishop. I think Haley was the perfect choice for Kate Bishop. It was nice to see Yelena back, and that she was going to try and kill Clint.
Banter between Kate and Yelena.
Yes, was perfect. I loved it. And then people seeing Kingpin back and like stuff like that. And yeah. Oh, I love Echo. Her character is so awesome. need cookie, please. That part made me laugh. But no, I also like the part with, you know, how you're talking about the hearing aid, and anytime we took it out, it was also us being hard to hear. I like that. That was so interesting. And then the part where Kate was writing down what was being said, that was super cute. I liked seeing the relationship between Kate and him grow, and what it was like hearing more about Ronan, because we don't really get to hear about Ronan that much, like whenever we're first introduced in Endgame. And then
I thought they would go more into what he, like, the really, like, they would go kind of dark with what Ronan actually did, because they always talk about how it's so bad. It's literally, he's committed the worst possible crimes ever, and they've only shown like a fraction of what that actually was. Does that make sense? So it kind of is like, I know you're trying to make this seem serious, but it doesn't feel as serious as it's supposed to, because you didn't really give us the Ronan background that you told us we were going to get in the series. That was like my only thing about the show, was that I wanted to know more about Clint, and I also wanted to get to know more about like what he did, and that would have also made kind of redemption a little bit better. Or not
redemption.
Not redemption, but like his, what's it called? Because the whole time he's been feeling kind of, that's also another thing. He always felt guilty about things that happened in the past with Nat and what he did during the time of the blip, right? But they never go into it. I also wanted to see what happened in Budapest. They never tell us what happened, exactly what happened.
Actually, Budapest.
Oh, sorry, my bad. booty
down. But yeah, I also, another thing I liked about the show is he made it very obvious that he did not consider himself a hero. He's never considered himself a hero, anything that he's done. And I really like that part, because even I think in other movies and stuff, he's talked about how he doesn't really consider himself a hero. And like and how being like a hero, quote unquote, is not easy, and what it's like. And it's a hard life. And I'm glad he kind of talked about that, because I don't think people really understand. So yeah.
The whole time, I don't know. This is the one thing that I didn't like about Kate. I like Kate as a character, but like the one thing that, like, oh my God, she really doesn't get it. She had been looking at everything like with rose-colored glasses. You know what I mean? Like she did a really good job. Both the writers and the actress did a really good job of showing how naive she was to like what it's actually like, and I loved that so much. And then I was waiting for that like wake up call moment for her, and I think she got it.
She for sure got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably one thing. I found her character slightly annoying. Probably well, she's not a child, she's older than us.
She's 22.
Yeah, no, because I was like, she's a child, and she's like, I'm 22, and I was like, hello?
Why do you still
older than us?
Like, Peter Parker, when Peter was, that's what he was thinking. Like, no, even before that, when he was younger, he was already very aware of like what it actually means to like get into this kind of job, into this, it's because it is a job. At the end of the day, it's a job. He knew what it's gonna take, and he was expecting it. He never like, oh, become a hero, you know what I mean? With Kate, she was like, I really wanted to like jump into it, and I love that she was very passionate about it, and it shows that she was. But at the same time, you gotta kind of take the whole thing with a grain of salt. You can't keep she just kept glorifying it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So I just
Yeah.
remember the part in the Hawkeye show because I was like, oh, that like her or like her backstory is kind of interesting where she saw Clint. But then I just remember the part where the actress was like, "Daddy, Daddy," or whatever. That part made me laugh so hard. Okay, moving on. Do you have anything else to say about Hawkeye though?
Um, her mother and
Yeah,
her
I
father.
had a bad feeling about her from the start.
I was like, because I kind of already knew. I'm like, oh, Bishop. Like, I knew Bishop was gonna be like, some kind of big bad, not big bad, but she's gonna be a villain. What's the right word? Like, she wasn't gonna be
Anti-hero?
yeah, like anti-hero, like against them somehow, right? And it was either gonna be because of herself or because of Kingpin. Like, I saw the Kingpin thing kind of like, I kind of predicted that, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're gonna reintroduce him, and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of goofed though. I was like, oh, work. But yeah.
All right, moving on to Spider-Man.
No, can you imagine? I'm literally sobbing, and all you hear in the background is 3 is a
It's a
magic.
magic number. No, sometimes I'm trying to sleep and that song plays and I'm like,
bro, that, oh, I'm never gonna recover from that. But like, I know you kind of were like, you didn't cry at all.
yeah,
like,
I didn't. I'm a psychopath.
Because like, you predicted most of it. That's the thing.
Okay, here is everything that I predicted and why this movie is not it wasn't my number 1 because I had predicted so many things. It was my number 3. I still love the movie.
Yeah.
I realized I had a couple predictions that I didn't put in that predictions post. So I had the 3 Spider-Man, technically it wasn't Sinister Six, but it was basically Sinister Six. And then the Multiverse of Madness post-credit scene, Aunt May is gonna die. And then I thought Andrew Garfield was going to save MJ, and I thought Doc Ock was going to help them. So that was 6 things I had predicted.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I found like some lack in the movie. Also, there was like a downtime in the middle of the movie where like it really went like it really crashed in action and like everything. So I found it kind of boring in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Or like at one point, I wish I could remember what part of the movie it was, but I got kind of bored at one point, and I was like, "Is this movie almost over?"
Oh my god!
And then I picked it back up again, so I was happy. But no, otherwise, I did like this movie a lot. Its acting and everything was superb.
I think why I was, well, like, I think you kind of know why I felt so strongly about this movie, but also, what's it called? Peter he already lost Uncle Ben in this universe, right?
That is not confirmed yet, I'm pretty sure.
No way.
Yeah, we don't know if he had an Uncle Ben in this universe yet.
But he talks about it.
Wait, it was confirmed. It was confirmed in What If that he had an Uncle Ben.
Yeah, because in Civil War, he like vaguely mentions it with Tony when he talks about how he got his powers and why he does what he does.
Wait, really? I just watched Civil War. I only knew because of What If he said it, Uncle Ben.
When Tony like literally breaks into his room and starts invading his space.
Yeah, and my favorite is, how do you see these things? And then he pulls the glasses up to his eyes. So the thing I liked about the end of this movie was that, you know how obviously everyone forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Actually, he goes and sees or everyone just forgets Peter Parker. There we go. That's what it is. Because he goes and sees MJ and Ned, and I like that instead of like forcing himself or whatever, he like reintroduces himself to them. Like that's so cute. Like, and he's like, he was willing to like re-meet them to hang out with them. And I know that the Spider-Man movies are getting 3 more movies. They're getting more movies. I honestly don't know where they're gonna go now, but I know a lot of people have high hopes for them because now that he's gonna be in college. I know people hope that they don't get a hair. Like, people don't want a Gwen Stacy or Harry Osborn. Like, they don't want them to go to the same place that the other movies went. So they hope
Yeah.
they introduce different characters.
I'm hoping, because they did show Cindy Moon a little bit during the debate team thing, which is Silk.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
yeah.
People want Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat.
No, because you don't. I am such a huge, like, this is me staking my claim. This is me staking my claim. I've always had like this huge crush on Felicia Hardy as Black Cat, and then in the Spider-Man game, you know who her voice actress is? Her voice actress in the Spider-Man game is literally the exact voice actress who does another character I'm like super sim for, Meredith Stout in Cyberpunk 2077.
Mhm.
So it's oh my god, it's just all like it aligns. I love Black Cat so much.
People
The
like
thing
try to fan cast her, and they have like the most basic bitch actress just because she has blonde hair. I'm like, listen, I'm like, she's gonna have white hair, so she's gonna wear a wig. I'm like, she just gotta be a baddie.
Just say Anya Taylor. Just say Anya Taylor.
You know, they have her, and then they have like Ana de Armas, and I'm like, get your bitch ass out.
Literally, I don't. Oh my gosh.
Also, some of them are too old to play her.
Tell me why people are still. This is the thing with. I hope they don't do with Black Cat is they like over sexualize her. Do you know what I mean when I say over sexualize? Like,
yeah, I hope I like the suit she had in the PlayStation game.
I did too. Oh my gosh! But why I bring that up is because I see people like casting Megan Fox as Black Cat.
She's also too old.
She's also too old. It's like for Poison Ivy, for Catwoman, for Black Cat, like all these like super. Obviously, they're like super sexy, like or like attractive, like femme fatale kind of characters, right? So of course, why everyone's first initial thought when it comes to these like characters that are super flirtatious goes straight to like Megan Fox. I don't get it. Don't get me wrong, Megan Fox is kind of fine, but I wouldn't cast her in literally every like flirtatious like role. You know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about. I hope they do Black Cat's character like justice. You know, yeah, right?
Yeah. I hope that, in my opinion, it doesn't, like, obviously people want like female characters like Black Cat and like Poison Ivy to be pretty, but in my opinion, it's more, and I want her actress to be more like fit her character more rather than her looks, because it doesn't matter if, I mean, it matters if she has like white hair and shit, but like, or if they like Poison Ivy's character has like red hair, but like obviously that's like makeup and stuff, but her personality needs to be on point. Like, if it doesn't, I know, but like some people are going to care, mainly like anyone who like is like like people who like are obsessed with those kind of characters, but I'd rather her personality be more accurate.
I want them to do, like you said, I hope they do her justice. And then another character that people brought up was Miles Morales.
I want him in so bad. Miles Morales is my favorite Spider-Man.
I love Miles Morales. Ever since I watched Spider-Verse, I started going, because I was never like a spider person kind of like, you know, person. Like I read, oh my gosh, I have so many comics except for the Spider-Man one. Like the majority of the stuff that I have, like the ones that I like legit read, are mostly most of my collection are digital, but I also have these ones too. So like, as like you can tell, like I like Marvel. I don't have like so many like, you know, Spider-Man stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my comic book collection. But ever since like I guess Sony and Disney started picking up all that stuff, I got more into it and I started reading more comics. And the ones that I like most are I like Squirrel Girl. First of all, Squirrel Girl is so good. It's probably a stretch to hope that she comes in the MCU, but
she was supposed to.
I really want her to. You don't understand. I want Squirrel Girl, I want Silk, I want Miles Morales. I started reading more comics with Miles Morales and Spider-Woman and Silk, and I was like, no, these, oh my god, I love them so much. I'm instantly like, I want to see them in the MCU. Like, I know it's probably not going to be like exactly what I know Miles Morales as, you know what I mean? Because the MCU likes to deviate from the comics a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I would still like to see him, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not really a huge Spider-Man fan either. I think that's also why I don't really like I don't really like Spider-Man Homecoming that much. I talked about in the No Nuance episode how I'm not a huge fan of Peter Parker. Which I never have, which I said was ironic because the first, like, how I kind of got into superheroes was like the first Marvel movie, not Marvel movie, superhero movie I watched was the Tobey Maguire movies. What? No, like the first like superhero movies I ever really watched were the Tobey Maguire ones, and then it kind of moved down to like X-Men and like Fantastic Four, and stuff like that. But I'm just not a huge fan of like Peter Parker. Like I never really have, which is kind of like ironic because Peter Parker and like Spider-Man he's kind of similar to Deadpool, but like he's not as extreme as Deadpool. But I love Deadpool, so I don't know. But I love Miles Morales. He's my favorite. But yeah. So anything else to say about the Spider-Man movie? We guess kind of off topic, talking about other characters and the upcoming Spider-Man films, maybe.
Because this whole movie kind of left a blank slate for phase 4, for the rest of phase 4, which I love. So there's obviously going to be so many more possibilities open for Marvel to do. That's probably why we got on a tangent. Because there's just so much that could happen, you know? But I loved No Way Home.
So moving on from Spider-Man, as the last thing, what upcoming project in the next 2 years for the rest of phase 4 are you excited for? There's the Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, I was like, there's Doctor Strange, there's Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, Fantastic Four. What else? There's a whole bunch of shows that I don't know. But wait, there's the Marvels, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, and some other ones that I don't know.
What was his name? Space Knight. Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, yeah, that one's coming. Oh, and She-Hulk.
Yeah, and She-Hulk. Oh my god. I forgot her name, but I love who they casted as She-Hulk, like a lot.
Oh, I forgot her name too. I know who they casted as like her best friend or the villain for the show, but I just don't remember.
I'm excited.
Jennifer Walters, I think.
Yeah. What's it called? I know for Thor: Love and Thunder, I ran into this. This is another tangent. I ran into this motherfucker in my DR2. He's played by Christian Bale too. I found out he was played by Christian Bale. He's supposed to be the big bad.
Yeah, the Gore, the bleepity boop bleepity boop, or it's something really long.
Yeah, something really long. I'm excited for that. And I'm also excited for like the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing is so interesting to me. I'm excited for like the whole, because we all phase 4, I feel like all we've done is like introduce multiverse and then mostly stay on Earth.
Yeah,
I want to know what's happening out there. I want to know what's going down. Well, everything is kind of going to shit, but also not. Like there's just a lot of commotion on Earth right now, and we don't know what's happening with our buddies in space. We don't know what's happening. Captain Marvel, we don't know what's going on with the Guardians or Thor. We also don't have a lot of insight on like what's going down with like New Asgard. Are they just like, you know, living, thriving, catching fish and shit? Like, but yeah, I'm excited for that. And then Multiverse of Madness, we get to see Wanda again and Strange. Do you think we're going to see Loki? I don't think we're going to see Loki in this one.
I don't know. That's the new Doctor Strange is what I'm most excited for because Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel films. I also really like Doctor Strange as a character, despite him being an arrogant ass in the first film. But I do like Doctor Strange. I have no idea if we're gonna honestly, maybe I think we might get like a Loki cameo, kind of like we got a Daredevil one and the Spider-Man one. But I think like maybe they'll just pass over and maybe they'll like see him. I don't know. It would be nice to have the trio that we got in the comics, but I don't know if we're gonna get it. And obviously we're getting America Chavez and stuff like that. The girl who plays her is so happy and excited to play her. I forgot her name is like spelled really complicated. I don't know how to say it. It's like Xochitel.
I don't know.
I think. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce her name. But no, the girl who plays her is on TikTok. She's like super excited to play her and like talks about it a lot. But yeah, I'm super excited for Doctor Strange. I think next what I'm most excited for is either the third Guardians of the Galaxy or Fantastic Four. Or as show wise, I'm most excited for Secret Invasion. Because we haven't seen Nick Fury in a hot minute.
He's literally chilling in space right now. I think what he's doing is trying to expand SHIELD, but I think that's a little too ambitious at the moment because with Hydra, that's another thing. We haven't heard anything from Hydra in a hot minute, which is it's kind of
I thought
scary.
Hydra was dead.
No, I feel like they're still around because you know how this is always like this has always been a thing with Marvel is that Hydra always finds a way to like corrupt or weasel their way into like organizations. I feel like there's like they're gonna show up sometime because they've been quiet for too long, and I feel like they're using all this commotion as a cover, like as a chance to like really like root themselves. And what better moment than when Fury is expanding to like space, to like you know the universe, the galaxy.
Yeah, because I'm excited because we get to see Nick Fury, and I believe Monica is supposed to show up in the Secret Invasion show for a little bit. And then on the Marvels is supposed to be Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau. And then so I'm generally excited to see Secret Invasion. Because I like Nick Fury. His character's so awesome. He's a pretty cool dude. Yeah, okay, moving on. Any last thoughts before we close out?
I'm really excited for phase 4. Like super hyped. I'm glad that like we're finally being fed Marvel content after starved. I feel like I don't know if it's just me, but it felt like we've been starved for so long ever since Endgame. Like we've just been so hungry.
Hit us that hard.
Yeah. We tried for a crumb and we got a little, and then as we got more and more and more, oh my gosh, we're just insatiable. So this is really good that we're getting all this great content. You know what I mean? To go back to like Tom Holland and like future Spider-Man movies, I think after Uncharted, he announced that he was getting kind of burnt out and like tired and he's going to take a break. That's probably speculation and rumor. I saw it on a few articles. I saw it on Instagram, but I could be wrong. I think he's going to take a break. And he also mentioned how he hopes that someone else can like kind of take the mantle of like a spider person. You know what I mean? Like to diversify and stuff. That's it.
I know that obviously there's no more. Obviously, they haven't announced phase 5 yet because it's too soon. There's speculation of what's supposed to be in phase 5, but obviously that's not until 2024, and it's almost 2022. But that's not for another 2 years from now, and they're already filming for stuff in 2023.
Yeah,
and so they're filming Guardians of the Galaxy, which comes out. And that's like one of the last projects to come out. And 2024. I'm assuming. If he's really tired of Spider-Man, and he's one of the best-selling people right now, Sony and Marvel are going to listen to Tom Holland, and they're going to figure out how long of a break he wants in order to figure out where they're going to put Spider-Man on the timeline. So yeah, I figure we probably won't get Spider-Man for a little while, which is okay because we don't need to get Spider-Man because he's on a fresh start.
Yeah, and then I want to mention Adam Warlock. I love his character so much. Why haven't we? It's been 8 years. Why haven't we heard anything from him in 8?
It was speculated for after I saw the tomb, and I was like, that looks like younger me was like, that looks like Adam Warlock. And I even asked my father if it was him. He was like, yeah. He's like, probably. And And then we heard nothing. And now we had to wait 8 million years for this Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And it makes me sad because I didn't like the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The first movie was like art, perfect, wonderful. The second one I just didn't like. I know a lot of people felt that. But yeah, I'm excited for Adam Warlock and his character. And the dude, Will starts with P. His first name is Will, but I love that his actor or him like Will is a fantastic actor. So I'm so excited to see him play Adam Warlock.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this has been Eliza and I talking about all of Phase 4 so far and our thoughts about upcoming Phase 4 projects. Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope you guys had a great year because I know I sure didn't. And I hope you guys I hope may this next year be wonderful and great. Yeah, goodbye everyone. Mwah, I love you.